Hello, I want to show you some new cards that I added to the game. I've added 60 new cards to the game, of which 40 are zombie cards and 20 are holiday cards, which are only available in December. And after December, they will automatically become unavailable to be unlocked. The ones that you have unlocked are forever, but you can't unlock more after January 1st. Um, the new cards that I have added to the game next to the Christmas cards are zombies, and there's a few new opponents coming with them, and they also use the new power card. And I will just start this battle so I can show you. The crowbar. The crowbar doubles a random card's attack and then deals 2 damage to it. So if I have a card with 5 health and 3 attack, it will double the attack, so that becomes 6 attack, and then deal 2 damage to it, and that means it goes from 5 to 3. The zombie cards. Let me see if I have one. Yes. Normally, when you upgrade a card, like this one's upgraded once, you get a slightly stronger version of the card. Either the attack, the health, or the stats. The skills grow stronger. But with zombies, that's not the case. With zombies, when you upgrade a zombie, the higher tier zombies will all get the same death wish, and the death wish is always shuffle a lower tier of this card into your deck, meaning that the base card, the gray one, the gray one in this case has a death wish saying give all friendly cards 2 health. When the gray card, the lowest tier of this card, is destroyed, all other cards get 2 health on your side of the table. However, each higher tier version of this card will always shuffle a lower copy of this card in your deck. Meaning if you have a rare card, it will shuffle the uncommon card in the deck, and the uncommon card will shuffle the poor card in the deck. And if you have a legendary card, it will first shuffle the epic card in your deck. The epic card will shuffle a rare card in the deck. The rare card will shuffle the uncommon card in the deck, and the uncommon card will shuffle the poor card in the deck, and the poor card finally does the skill belonging to the character. That's the main difference between living characters on cards and zombies on cards. Zombies are therefore at first pretty weak, because all they do is shuffle a new card in the deck. You can't kill any enemy cards with a death wish like this. So at first they're pretty weak, but because they keep shuffling cards back into your deck, they become stronger and stronger the higher their tier. But their skills always got postponed until the end of the game, because that's when you get the lower tier versions of the card. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. I have not upgraded this one just yet, it's a new card. Oh, another new thing I failed to show you before I start the battle, but maybe you've noticed, is I have a follower now. Followers are not active in battle, but they do something different. They give you a passive effect. In this case, I have Tammy as a follower, and when Tammy is in your party, all cards that do random damage, now only like this one, deal damage randomly split among enemy cards. Not like this one. All cards that do random damage split among all cards or to all cards now only damage the enemy, but the same goes for enemy cards. So their cards that says damage to all cards will only target my cards and not their own. And if I would not like that passive effect, I can look for another follower to replace Tammy, and the effect will be gone and replaced by the effect of the new follower. But so far there's only one follower, and you cannot remove them from your party just yet once you've unlocked them. For those who want to know, you can unlock them in the on the parking lot after you spoke to Tammy and went back to Mike in the mansion. If after going back to Mike you would go back to the parking lot, you can add Tammy to your party. It is missable, it is skippable to find this follower, and the main quest will not lead you back to her after the first time you spoke to her. So it's kind of secret to find. I will not make the game lead you towards the moment where you have to unlock her as follower. As you can see, the opponent keeps putting pretty weak cards on the table, yet they have still more cards in their stock than I have in mine, because they keep shuffling the upgraded zombies back in their deck. That makes zombies a lot harder to defeat. Tammy, who will prevent my skills to target my own cards, that does not affect the power cards. The power cards will always be just equally positive or negative for all cards on the table, not just your own or your enemies. This power card, double a minion's attack, double a card's attack, and then deal 2 damage to it. Of course, it's nice when you have cards with high health to try and double their attack, but it's always also nice to use to destroy enemies. And the target is at random, so I have no choice on which one the effect will be put on. On which one the effect will be put on. I don't think that's right. Her deck is only consisting of zombies. All zombie decks are. And yeah, as you can tell, that they are harder to beat than the regular characters. mainly because they keep um, getting new cards into that deck. If you see a purple card, you just know that they're gonna shuffle at least 3 more copies of those in that deck, and maybe more if they have more copies of that card in the deck already. Mm. Here's another new card. It's the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree shuffles a random present into both decks. And all Christmas trees are 1 by 1. But the presents they shuffle in their decks become stronger and stronger with higher tiers. So this is a rare card, 2 stars, and it will shuffle a random rare card in their deck and a random rare card in mine. But first I'm going to use my power card. The blue one will, not the blue border, but the package you saw on the picture, will deal damage to all enemy cards. There's also a red present that will deal damage randomly split among enemy cards. And there is also a green package which get increased attack and defense, but no skill. With all other power cards, I had AI to get a little smarter to know which um, in which situation they can or cannot use their power card. But with this power card, which can both be positive as negative upon pretty much any card, I just let it run every single turn. Because it's a gamble anyway when using this. I can try to use this one to destroy this one, but it also might this one really strong. Even though there would be only 1 health left. I will still give the power card for the opponent with this card. A more detailed AI to figure out when to play which card. I'm not sure where to base the choices on just yet. I'm still far behind. I might probably lose this one unless I pay very well attention. Which is hard if I also try to explain what's going on. For those who wonder and did not figure it out just yet, the skulls on the cards mean they have a skill that will trigger when they are destroyed. A fist on the card means they have a skill that will be triggered as soon as they are played. So let's try this one. The skill, there's a fist, meaning it's played it's triggered when it's played. Shuffle a random present in both decks. For this one, it's triggered upon death. Shuffle a lower copy of this card in your deck. I'm going to play them both. Nothing happens because the skill will not happen until it dies. That does not count for this one. I should have triggered my card first, my power card first. Lucky me. Could just as well have destroyed this one. Oh. I know the lowest tier of this card might do some damage to my cards when it is destroyed. And therefore I was kind of scared to kill that card. But I forgot that it's a zombie, so it will do nothing but shuffle their lower tier back in their deck. You also might have noticed that even though the video is already going on for 16 minutes and we're still in the first game, that the games are getting longer. And the games get longer because there's more cards unlocked. The more cards you unlock, the longer games become. And therefore you can also dump some of your cards at every trash can you find in the game. But you can only dump your uncommon cards. When you do this, when you dump your uncommon cards, they will be stored in the dumpster, in the trash can. And if you need them later to upgrade cards that you unlocked after, then you can just loot them back from the trash can. I did this to improve the flow of the game, because if you have like 60 cards unlocked, then one single game can easily take 90 minutes, and that's just very long for a story-driven game. Well, I say story-driven game, but it's actually really a card game with a story mode. It never meant to be a RPG with a card-based battle. It always was a card game first, then an RPG. Actually, it started out as a board game. I needed a card system to use in the game, in the board game, a card system for small battles that happen when you end up on certain tiles on the board. But the card game I made for that was short, boring, simple dice roll. If you rolled higher than the number on the card, you win, otherwise you lose. Very boring. So I thought I made something more complicated, and that turned out to be this game. But it's way, way, way too large to use as a mini game in a board game. I mean, if you play a board game with someone else and you have to do a quick card battle, which turns out to take 90 minutes before the other player can take a turn, that's not good. It's perfect for single player games, if you ask me, but it's not good for multiplayer, especially if you don't play against each other. If it would have been player versus player in the card game, it could have worked. It would still be way too long for in a board game, but at least the other player would not have to wait for an hour, 1.5 hour, when you after you've unlocked very many cards. It's probably way too long to be used inside an RPG now as well. But yeah, like I said, it was never meant to be an RPG with a card-based battle. It was really meant to be a card game with a story mode. Set the health of all allies to be equal to their attack. That's one of the new cards, and I had to check if it would not set all cards health to be equal to their attack, because that means that this one would heal instead of die. Now their skill had no effect at all because I had no cards to set equal. So I kind of sacrificed their skill. Shuffle a random present in both decks. This card's blue, so the cards it shuffles in my deck are blue as well. If I saw it right, I get a red present, which means it will deal improved damage randomly split amongst all cards when destroyed. It's 18 to 12. I'm really trying to win and to destroy as many cards without using any cards of my own, but and that's good. I think I never meant this game to be an easy to beat game. I was actually hoping to make a game that is hard to beat, that take many hours to complete, and I think at least I succeed in that part. It is totally possible to beat each and every enemy in the game multiple times. However, the more games you win, the stronger enemies get. As you can see, they have plenty upgraded cards in their deck. Each time I win a game, each enemy in the game will upgrade one of their cards, or actually every other game I win, all enemies upgrade one card in their deck. That means enemies can be really tough to beat the very first time you meet them, but no worries, when you lose, they will upgrade less cards in their deck than before. And that goes for all the cards, but for all the enemies, but the enemy you lose from will shuffle even less upgraded versions of their card in their deck. So when you start a battle, the upgraded cards of your opponent depend on how many times you won in total, how many times you lost in total, how many times you won against this specific opponent, and how many times you lost against this specific opponent. this single game is already going on for almost half an hour. So I guess I did not say too much when I said that games become way longer when you have more cards. They shuffle the uncommon version in the deck, and you just already know that that one will shuffle a new card in the deck as well. Masha is one of the new zombies. Give all cards plus Y health, and Y is 1 at the moment that he's played. So as soon as he is played, all allied cards, or all cards get +1. I had no cards on the table, unfortunately. Deal X damage randomly split among enemy cards. Deal X damage randomly split amongst all cards. And X is 1. I can still safely play it because Tammy is in my party, and Tammy prevents any of my cards doing damage to any of my own cards. By the way, normally there would be music in the background while playing the game. I disabled the background music for the video, so I don't have to shout over it all the time. In fact, each game you play, each card game you play in the game will get a different tune. There's over 40 songs the game will choose from, and it will play another one each time you play the game. I don't know about others, but when I hear the same single tune over and over and over, yeah, I do not enjoy that. Nice. Deals 2 damage. I've got still 2 health left, but 10 attack. Not that it does me any good. 1 attack should have been enough to kill that one. Two damage randomly split among all cards. This one will then be destroyed, but this one deals 2 damage to all enemies. So each of my cards on the table will get 2 damage, meaning it will kill this one right back. Then I could as well just use this one. This skill will be wasted if I use that one now. He's still about 6 cards ahead. Deal 8 randomly split amongst all enemies. Wait, I forgot how many it was. 8. 2 and 5 is 7, and 1 is 8. Actually, it's 10. 3, 2, and 5 is 10, but they will both get 1 damage already. And since it is pretty much the end of their stack, they will not have much upgraded tiers of their cards left anymore. Just the grey ones, but those are the ones with the skills. So that they are finally going to play some really strong cards instead of just prolonging actually battling. I planned on making zombies harder to defeat than the earlier characters you meet in the game. But that they are much more harder than much harder to beat than I could have expected actually. Nice. But it's probably not nice enough. Well, I pretend like I already lost, but this one will shuffle 1 back. This one will shuffle 1 back, and oh, I only have 2 left. Maybe I did lose already. Yeah, this is a stronger one. I should save this one for when there's stronger cards on the table. This one will still shuffle 1 back. Yeah, I'm never going to win this one anymore. Deal X to all enemies when I play it. Deal X randomly split among all cards when destroyed. However, Tammy is in a party, so it will not target my cards, only the enemy's cards. I kept this one alive on purpose to arrow further for this one. Yeah, I don't want to I don't want to play this one, because if I kill this one now, this one is dead. Because this one will split deal 10 damage randomly split among all cards. So I'm going to keep this one alive for 1 more turn. Hopefully she will not kill it with her power card. Because I want to keep this one alive to kill more other enemies. Because this one deals 2 damage to all cards. not randomly split, but each one gets 2 damage. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. I lost, but um, the goal of this video wasn't to show you how well I could win this game, but the new card, how it plays against zombies, and how incredibly strong zombies are. So strong that I can't even beat the game I created, even though I know exactly when in what situation the opponent will play which kind of card, or use their hero power or not. It's not the first time I lose, by the way. Well, I I test this game a lot, and I mean a lot, because there's so many things that can go wrong in the code of this game. So I test it a lot, and I do not always win, and that's good. I don't want to make a game that players win no matter what they do. I want them to be focused. I want them to have favorite cards, and to make their own tactics they can use to win. I kill my card off on purpose. Just I already lost. I gave up. And they still have 5 cards left. I just lost bad, and that's good. That means my game is not too easy, and I never want my game to be too easy. As you can see, I lost 15 out of 49 games in total, and yeah, that's almost 1 out of 3. I lose about 1 out of 3 games, and probably that will just get more and more, because enemies just grow stronger and stronger. However, for the player, they will lose probably a little less, because well, those are 49 test runs of the card game, meaning there might have been a few way off balance that were way too hard to beat, that I have made easier afterwards, because I like tough and challenging, but it should at least be possible to defeat everyone without needing exactly the right cards and the right power-ups, and it should be possible to win each game if you are really good. Maybe lose 1 or 2 out of 10, but 1 out of 3 is a little high, I think. Although I do enjoy it, I think it's way more fun if there is a high possibility I will lose when I make mistakes, because then mistakes will be game breaking. Yeah, I don't like games where I can just randomly play whatever card I want and I will win anyway, and still have enough space for 20 more screw ups. No, I like games where I have to think, where what I do actually makes a difference between winning or losing. It shouldn't be so that I win because the opponent was just bad, or I lose because the opponent was just so strong that there was nothing I could do. I want to win because I did everything right, or lose because I screwed up. And that's what I try to do in my game as well. Your skills and your effort, that should make the difference between you winning or losing the game, and not enemies should not be or way stronger or way weaker than you are. They can be, but when you lose, they will downgrade a little. When you win, they will upgrade a little, and that way I hope to have each opponent at least a bit in the range of your level. Although if I would go back now to the if I would go back here to Martina, one of the first opponents you can beat in the game, I will probably win this. However, if I keep playing her and keep winning, at some point she will be stronger than I will ever be. This is the dump system I told you about earlier. You can dump your cards here if you have too many to make your card shorter, and I can loot them all if I need them to upgrade my cards. How much gold do I have? 0. I might get some gold to upgrade my to buy more cards so I can show you what happens. The only way to make gold, by the way, is to explore for junk, and junk you can sell here in the mansion for gold. We're getting a beer. Here, this one is on me, thank you. I did not come for that. Loot is random. Loot also respawns. So if you're short on gold, just look in cabinets, look in closets, look in cars, look everywhere. In the sink, even in the toilet. There can be diamonds in the toilet. I will prove you. I will prove myself right. I won't say I prove you wrong, but no one. I'm not imagining that you guys are behind the computer. No, no, you're a liar. Well, this was basically everything. I want to show you quickly how the dumpster works. And then I think my video is getting a little on the long side. It's already 45 minutes. As you see, I did just unlock a Christmas tree. That would not be possible anymore after January 1st. After December 31st. It's already not possible anymore at December 1st. A dumpster. These are the cards I just copied. I can dump them in the dumpster, and I have no clue how many cards are now in the dumpster because I already dumped some before I started this video. If I loot them, I can choose to see them all, just like we just saw at the computer when I copied new cards. Or I can skip all the regular ones and just show the upgrades I've got. I already had 2 green ones and two gray ones, so a new gray one merged together into 1 green one, meaning I have 3 green ones now. They merge together into 1 blue one. Now I have 50 cards in my deck, of which 21 are of poor quality. Meaning, if I start a game now, it would be really, really, really long because the opponent will start with 50 cards as well. Therefore, I'm going to dump all my rare cards, all my poor cards. In this menu, always 6 random poor cards from your deck will show up. And unless you don't have 6 poor cards in your deck. Or unless you have less than 12 cards in your deck. You cannot dump any cards if you have 12 or less cards in your deck. You always need at least 12 cards. And that was basically it. I hope you guys all enjoy my new game, my new cards in the game. The game is not new anymore, but the cards are. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas next weekend, upcoming weekend. And well, if you like my game, then please subscribe and maybe support me on Patreon. And speaking about Patreon, I want to thank my very first patron, Dire Badgers. Thank you so much for your support. And I hope you are the first of many. I see you all the next year. Bye.